Comparing travel options. The purpose of this lesson is to consider other factors involved in traveling by car, not merely just the petrol. You need to be able to consider factors when planning the route, for example, distance, time, condition, and types of the road, stops to rest and refuel, and even stopping for overnight. The first thing we're going to look at is traveling costs, specifically fixed costs. Now, the fixed costs include depreciation. Every car depreciates or loses value over time. This is calculated using compound interest, but you subtract the percentage instead of adding. So depreciation is the opposite of inflation. We also have to consider insurance and licensing. Licensing is a fee paid to the government. To calculate fixed costs, the AA, Automobile Association, supplies a table which takes the fixed costs, depreciation, insurance, and licensing into consideration. In order to use the table, you must know the purchase price of the car, and that includes VAT as well as the traveling distance. The value from the table is in cents, and you always convert that to rand. So, for example, we are going to look at the purchase price of 185,000. So 185,000 falls in this line here, and then the distance traveled is 17,000 kilometers, which will be in this group here. So 185,000 and 17,000 kilometers will give us a factor of 281, and in fact that is cents per kilometer. Look at the table again, and as we said before, the purchase price was 185,000, which would be found in that line or that row, and we are traveling 17,000 kilometers. So that is the column that it's in, and where these two intersect is here at 281. And please take note in your table here, average fixed costs in cents per kilometer, and VAT is included. So let's work out. So the distance, okay, let's not confuse the distance here. We are going to have a look at a trip to Cape Town. In your books on page 131, there is an example. The only thing we're going to use from that example is the distance between Johannesburg and Cape Town. So that distance, so Johannesburg to Cape Town is 1,369 kilometers. Right, we have the factor, which is 281 cents. What we are going to do, we are going to convert that to rands, divide by 100, and that will be 2 rand and 81 cents. Right, now if we have to calculate the journey from Cape Town to Johannesburg, it tells you in order to do the fixed costs, so fixed costs equals the fixed cost, and remember we had it in cents per kilometer multiplied by the distance traveled. Right, so our fixed cost was 2 rand 81, and we are going to multiply it by 1,369 kilometers. If you do that on your calculator, you are going to get a total of 3,846 Rand and 89 cents. Now, very often we don't even consider these hidden costs. And why they're hidden costs? Because it doesn't take into consideration, for example, fuel, tolls, wear and tear, so that is how we will calculate the fixed cost.